everyone, my name is Thanksho Habileng. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to do a study of the book of Psalm 23, and it has been a blessing to me. I hope that what I will be sharing with you today will encourage you. So the first thing that King David is saying in verse 1 of Psalm 23 is that the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. King David, as a boy, was a shepherd. He had an experience of tending the sheep. He understood that one of the responsibility of a shepherd is to feed the sheep. And the first thing that he's saying is that the Lord is the one that takes care of his needs, and he shall lack nothing. And I believe that most of us needs to start believing that the Lord is our shepherd and we shall lack nothing. The second thing that King David is saying in verse 2 is that he makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. The Hebrew word used for lie down is roberts. One of the meanings of roberts is made to rest. And what King David is teaching us here is that the prosperity that God gives us comes with rest. I was listening to an interview done years ago of a very successful film actor and producer in Hollywood. And one of his fears was the fear of losing his wealth. And I felt so sad thinking that you have all this money, but you do not have rest. And David is saying in verse 2 that the prosperity that God gives us, it comes with rest. In verse 3, King David says, he restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yeah, so in this life, your soul, my soul, will experience some hurt and disappointments. And King David is teaching us that God does restore the wounded soul. And the other thing that David is teaching us in verse 3 is that it is the responsibility of a shepherd to lead in the path of righteousness. Yeah, I don't know about you, but this path of righteousness can be difficult and frustrating. And King David acknowledges that God is the one who leads in the paths of righteousness, and not for our name, but for his name. Yeah. In verse 4, King David says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. The first thing that I want us to pay attention in verse 4 is that the value of the shadow of death is a walkthrough. It is a walkthrough. What King David is teaching us is that the value of the shadow of death, the difficult times that we are facing today, it is supposed to be a walkthrough. Pain and disappointment, it is not our home. Pain and disappointment, it is not our destiny. It is a walkthrough, and it is something that we need to pass through, not to dwell in. Yeah. And the second thing that I want us to pay attention to in verse 4 is that King David is saying that when I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. I love this verse because King David is taking ownership. Not fearing evil is not the responsibility of God, but it is our responsibility not to fear evil. And David continues to say in verse 4 that I will fear no evil, for you are with me. I am not alone in this. I am not alone in this evil, in this trouble. You are with me, and your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Yeah, that's a very powerful words. And in verse 5, King David says, you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runs over. I've heard someone saying that anointing brings enablement. Anointing, it is when God adds the super to the natural. Yeah, so King David is saying that the anointing of God brings an overflow. It brings an overflow. Yeah. In the last verse 6, King David says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. King David is making a powerful prayer and declaration that the goodness and the mercy of the Lord shall follow him. Yeah, he ends this book by saying that he will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The Hebrew word used for the word dwell is yashab, and yashab means to remain, to continue, and tarry. And some Bible translation translate the word the house of the Lord as the presence of God. And David is saying that he will remain, he will continue, and he will tarry in the presence of the Lord forever. And I encourage you to do the same as King David. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until I see you next time, goodbye.